Yeah, definitely. Alabama in for a battle we would expect against Auburn, where a few weeks ago it looked like Alabama was extremely dominant and playing in that fashion against the rest of the SEC, where Auburn had tripped up against LSU at one point with a 20-0 lead, and the Auburn Tigers making a statement, certainly at home on the Plains against the then-ranked number one Georgia Bulldogs. So Mississippi State running for 172 yards and 3 touchdowns, making hay on the ground more so than any opponent that we've seen in recent times against Bama on the ground. Auburn wouldn't provide that type of look, though, with Jarrett Stidham minus Nick Fitzgerald. So although there has to be some concern about the rush defense, of course, Auburn's not going to provide that running threat at the quarterback spot.
It's not going to provide that threat, but Jarrett Stidham does give you the attempt that he's going to run, so you have to respect that. But I think the main thing with Alabama when it comes down to Jarrett Stidham is Stidham at times has that one read perspective where he has his eyes focused on one guy, and if that guy's not there, has a difficult time either getting rid of the football or trying to make something out of nothing, to where he takes a sack, he takes a negative play, things on that number. For the Crimson Tide, getting the push with its front four will be key in that game. Braden Smith is one of the better offensive linemen in college football at left guard for the Auburn Tigers. And then also Chandler Cox, the fullback, one of the more underrated blockers in the SEC, especially where when he lines up, whatever side he lines up on, more times than not, the play is going to go to that side. So accounting for Chandler Cox and getting a push with your defensive front to affect Jarrett Stidham in the pocket. The one thing Alabama does have at its disposal where Auburn is suspect at is the kickoff and punt coverage. Auburn's kickoff and punt coverage has been atrocious at times this year, despite it being beating Georgia. Georgia had a couple of huge plays in special teams and kickoff returns and punt returns where the Auburn coverage was not there. And for Alabama, if you can have Trevon Diggs, Xavier Marks, and Henry Ruggs III catch the ball cleanly, identify where the ball is coming at you, catch it cleanly, and then make your move, the Tide can achieve a lot of success on special teams. That is one of the pivotal areas of this game. Can Alabama attack the coverage miscues of Auburn?
Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama giving us a sneak peek at the Iron Bowl, but of course we'll blow it out with huge coverage next week. Auburn and Alabama for the SEC Western Division Championship. The Tide warming up with Mercer, and you've got Auburn, Louisiana Monroe, as well as a number of the teams in the SEC take the week off to a certain extent and getting ready for rivalry week on the final weekend, just 2 days after Thanksgiving. You can join Stephen M. Smith on a show The Way It Is in Fox 97.9 weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All the weekdays included 2 to 4 Central Time. And, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel right here for the very best in college football coverage and analysis from myself and the best bloggers and broadcasters in the business, like Stephen right there himself, and the audio versions you can catch on Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes. All right, Stephen, I think we've done enough for Hate Week, Mercer Hate Week. Get fueled up, get ready to go.
I can't say that. I just cannot say Mercer Hate Week right now. This week is Find Alabama a Linebacker Week. We can't say Mercer Hate Week. It's Find Bama the next linebacker.
All right, Bama fans. Take it easy on poor Mercer. Just let them come in, get their payday, and don't hurt too many people. Too many players, because they got to finish off their season as well and let them be on their way.
Not only that, a message to Nick Saban for this week, make sure the media gets some good food. I know it's Mercer and you're not sold on making sure that the fine cuisine is out there at Bryant-Denny, but, think about it, Nick. Think about the media that covers your team and make sure that food is well prepared.
All right. Stephen, not looking out for himself by saying that. Of course not. Of course not.
Oh, no. I'm looking out of the well-being of everybody at this game. Everybody. Make sure that meal is pleasant, because we all want a pleasant meal.
All right, Stephen. Well, we always appreciate the breakdown. You have a great show on Thursday.
I appreciate it, Mark, and we'll catch back up with you to recap Alabama Mercer and get even more into the Iron Bowl conversation.